Lil Yachty. Straight out of fucking nowhere. Life is really fun sometimes. The last couple of weeks, I've been realizing, learning via some conversations with people off to the side and dark alleyways and shadowed corners that though my journey through hip hop has been very enjoyable, very informative, very fun, lots of great music, so on. Like all things with music, with subgenres, when you start down a certain path, that's the path you go down, obviously. And like with rock, if somebody were to explore rock and they started with Pink Floyd or Eagles or Led Zeppelin, they would naturally flow down a path of classic rock. Rather than if they started with Nirvana, or if they started with Rage Against the Machine, or if they started with Metallica. All of these starting points would lead a natural path through that subgenre of rock. And with me and hip hop, I've come to find that while I am exploring hip hop, and I think I'm doing a pretty decent job of hitting the classics and hitting the foundation while kind of getting off into the experimental side a little bit last year with Injury Reserve and JPEG Mafia and Clipping and Death Grips and all that kind of stuff. There's still a lot of stuff I haven't heard, and there's still a lot of stuff that hasn't even been recommended to me because my path through hip hop has been that. A path that's kind of rooted in the foundation of what hip hop is, where it comes from, etc. For example, I just found out, I think literally less than 2 weeks ago, who Youngboy NBA is. Like, I literally had not heard of him before, even though he's number 2 all-time streamed or number 3 all-time streamed. And that kind of threw me off a little bit. And then I thought about it, and I kind of got to that analogy of river flows and, all this, like, the different paths that you go down based off of where you start. And then it started to make sense. And then I started to think, while I want to stay true to my journey through hip hop, I also would like to maybe break down some of the natural barriers that have arose on their own naturally via my path and start kind of getting out into some of these other subgenre spaces that haven't been recommended to me simply because of the nature of whatever I discussed. And I was thinking about maybe sneaking in a Youngboy NBA reaction, but I didn't really know when, and I wasn't sure. And, I was thinking about it, but it just not putting a lot of pressure on myself, just considering the idea. Nothing dropped in January. Okay. Going to do the Forever Story as a backup new album. And then this morning, today's Friday, I'm just going to record this now instead of on Sunday. Everyone's blown up about Lil Yachty and this new album by Lil Yachty. I've literally never heard of the guy, ever. And that's not a disrespect to him. It's just a natural part of this process where nobody's really brought him up. And even, honestly, even if somebody has, Lil Yachty is so far buried underneath a list of all these albums that I've already said I want to do. And so the chances of my doing a reaction to any of his music are so low. But then this album drops out of nowhere, as far as I know. Everyone's blowing up about it. And at first people are like, oh, you got to do it. Yeah, okay, sure. Then they start talking about, no, it's like alternative rock. It's like inspired by Dark Side of the Moon or influenced. Or what the fuck are you talking about? So it's like, you know what? I know nothing about the guy. This thing's completely coming out of nowhere. Yeah, let's fucking do it. Let's do it. And I'm really curious to hear this sound because people are saying it's not even a 180. It's like a 180 inverted, mile off to the side, out of the blue, backflip, like total change in sound, right? And I'm all for that kind of shit. And I feel like that's a strength of mine that I can roll into something that's completely new and listen to it, unless it was that one time with Drake. Well, man, that's a whole different other story, right? All that to say, that's why we're here. I'm kind of excited. I'm really curious to hear what this album sounds like, even though I know nothing about the guy. And I do have to say, sometimes it is fun to drop in completely blind. This reminds me a bit of the old days when I first started and everything was new to me and I didn't know who anybody was or what to expect. And I remember doing an album called Whole Lotta Red. And just, what the fuck is this, right? And just being this lost man. in the whole lot of red space. And the fan base was so incredible. That's still by far my most viewed video ever. Great fan base, great response. Scout made that fucking awesome edit video. I mean, it was just a great experience. And so, why not? Why not? Let's drop into something blind. Let's drop into something in real time with everybody else, experience it with the community, and so on. So, with that, there's nothing to say about Lil Yachty because I don't know anything about the guy. Literally the first time I'm going to hear about him or hear him. This cover is kind of throwing me off a bit. I like this cover, and it makes me wonder what's going to be in this album because it's called Let's Start Here. And you take that concept and apply it to a cover of, it looks like lawyers. It looks like lawyers. It looks like some sort of legal setting. Maybe they're politicians. And when you glance at the photo or the drawing, whatever you want to call it, I mean, obviously they're laughing at us, but they have these like slightly disfigured, gnarled faces, ugly faces, right? And it's almost like the cover itself is beneath the veil of what is supposed to be a photo of these people smiling, right? And that's what makes me think of more of a politician setting rather than necessarily a legal setting. Although, of course, certain members of Congress is responsible for writing the laws and stuff. But the idea being, you know, they smile into our faces, but beneath that, they're just laughing at us. And they're ugly and they're disfigured and they have no respect for us. And, you know, they're supposed to be serving the country and all. That's my own take. Who fucking knows if it's even close to what this album is going to be about. But interesting cover. I really like the cover. My wife would hate it because she thinks it's ugly. And it is ugly, but that's the point. That's what makes it so cool. Anyway, I am getting over COVID. I'm feeling better, but maybe get a little bit of coughs here and there. I might have to mute the mic, whatever. That's enough talking. 7 fucking minutes for an intro. Let's drop in. We got 14 songs, 57 minutes worth of music to check out. First track is called The Black Seminole, produced by Justin Reyes and Lil Yachty, Patrick Wimberly, Sad Pony, and Jacob Portrait. Here we go. First time ever listening to this artist. Let's check it out. Oh yeah, this is already very different. And I can see the people who are saying Dark Side of the Moon influence. This is cool though. Oh yeah. Oh.
Black seminole.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
A sex symbol, the black seminole. African Rambo, more ammo.
Fucking cool. This is fucking cool.
Can't be escaped, I'm on every channel. What's wrong? What's wrong, Mr. Man? Your eyes are low.
Wow.
And you're walking with both hands on your head. It just feels like a Tarantino movie.
Wow. Wow. Holy shit, man. A bit of a guitar solo. Holy shit. I'm gonna pause there. This is fucking legit. You know, when people were saying, oh, it sounds like heavily influenced by Dark Side of the Moon. Oh, okay. Sure. Sure. No. Fuck yeah, it does. Fuck yeah, it does. No, it's really fun for me, too. You guys know my love for lyrics and all this stuff. It's fresh. There's no fucking annotation, so I can really, like, play with this, you know? I don't know what a black seminole is. Let's click on a black seminole. I don't know what that is. A seminole, I thought seminoles were like, here, Mr. Boat. Oh, Mr. Boat. Sees himself as a general similar to the Black Seminoles who called the shots amongst the Red Seminoles of political. So I don't know what Seminoles are. No, I don't know. Okay. Let's check out this first verse. What's wrong, Mr. Man? Your eyes are low and you're walking with both hands on your head. His response, he's on a clean high, both feet on the ground, his head's way up in the sky. The Black Seminole, who's a sex symbol, African Rambo with more ambo, can't be escaped on every channel. The Black Seminole, a head general, this deep connective. This is interesting. This is, you guys can see that, I guess, this deep. Oh, that's probably a bug there. Large interval. A man with mouths to feed, embracing equality throughout greed. No time to joke around. The kid is now a man, and the sadness is filled with remarkable sounds. This part I've seen in my dreams. Love is not a lie. It just feels like a Tarantino movie scene, which is those scenes are so incredible in that Tarantino does such a good job of making something seem real yet surreal at the same time. Like it feels real, but it's also cinematic, which makes it feel not real. Like he pulls you into the movie, but you still realize this is very much a movie. Love is not a lie. It just feels like a Tarantino movie scene. So that's an interesting thing, because that makes me feel like being pulled into the feeling of love, but not believing it, or maybe thinking it's not real, but it's also not a lie. Like here, I don't know. Interesting. And I don't want to tear into this too much. I mean, really what I'm trying to do is I'm trying to get a taste for where we're starting with all of this, because maybe there's going to be a theme throughout. Who knows? Let's play this music play. There's 4 minutes left of music, so let's just fucking hear this shit. The drums slow it down. Fuck yeah. Yeah. Killer jam. Killer jam, for sure. Wow. This reminds me of Pink Floyd and Dogs, where it slows down quite a bit in Dogs. But I like that it still has that like spacey keyboard going on. Just gonna pause real quick right here. Very spacey right here, right? Obviously we can pick that up. And I'm thinking back to the line, both feet up on the ground, but his head's way, way, way up in the sky. And isn't that what it feels like right now? Like it feels like we were on the ground in the beginning and now we're just drifting up, up, up into the sky. So I'm keeping that concept in mind as we float through these last 2 minutes of the track here.
Now.
Oh. Wow, man. Wow. This is fucking incredible. I love it. Holy shit. There's one problem with that track. Oh, it's 2 fingers. There's one problem with that track. It's so fucking good that how do you follow this, right? How do you follow this? Because for me, with an album, opening track, especially if there's any kind of concept within the album, any kind of story, whatever, right? The opening track obviously sets the stage a bit. And the first 2 or 3, right? But usually that first one kind of gives you an idea of where you're going to go. That track is almost 7 minutes long. It's already just a hell of a ride. A hell of a ride. And the lyrics are like interesting, but a little vague. And it makes me wonder, okay, what's going on? It feels like the start of a story. This was a ride. So my only concern with this track is, will the rest of the album be able to live up to what is already a very fucking high bar, in my opinion? Like, this is great. The Black Seminole gets a heart. Let's move on to track 2. It is called The Ride. Apparently, the Black Seminole was not a ride. This is The Ride. It's featuring Tizo Touchdown, produced by GM City, Justin Raisin, Patrick Wimbley, Lil Yachty, and Sad Pony. So hopefully, looks like almost the same production crew as the previous track. Hopefully it's the same guys throughout. Hopefully this musical concept exists throughout. I'm really excited. Let's jump in. Track 2, The Ride.
Don't ask no questions on the ride. Making eye contact is suicide.
Tripping.
When I'm alone, my thoughts, I'm terrified. That's why I need you here just by my side. A quick zoom to the moon, come on around. When I'm alone, my thoughts, I'm terrified. That's why I need you here just by my side.
I don't know how I feel about this one yet, but it's okay. It's all right. I gotta settle in, you know, and that's okay. It's gonna take a little bit of time. Interesting chorus though. Don't ask questions on the ride. Making eye contact is suicide. You know, the next couple lines. You know, when I'm alone with my thoughts, I'm terrified. I kind of want to put that one to the side just a little bit. That's why I need you here by my side. A quick zoom to the moon. The Ride. And maybe I should let the track keep going before I talk about what the ride is. But I want to mention, when I think of the ride, I think of life. I view life as the ride. And that's my own thing. And so I have to be careful with that concept because I'm taking my idea and putting it into the song. That doesn't mean that's what the song is about. But that's the angle I'm at right now, is the ride is life. And so the idea of making eye contact in life, maybe perhaps as a black man, making eye contact, depending on who you're looking at, is suicide. And, you know, there's cases to be made both on, you know, the gang side of the aisle in terms of, you know, looking at somebody and, you know, people fighting and shit breaking out like that. Cops, politicians, you know, whoever, right? But really, I think with this line, the cover, I'm thinking about the cover. And, you know, the idea, let's start here, and making eye contact is suicide. And I don't know. I think really I'm reaching too much. I'm a little too excited. Let's let the song play out. Maybe there's more in verse 2. You know, Tizo's talking about, if you're scared of heights, just close your eyes, which is interesting because Lil Yachty's talking about making eye contact. If you're scared of heights, just close your eyes. It's only at the top. Come inside. Bust it open for a bit. Let's keep going. Let's see what other lyrics come through here on this track.
All of the things I once enjoyed doesn't bring joy. It just bring noise. 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 It just bring noise.
Nice.
Interesting.
Don't ask no questions on the ride.
A quick zoom to the moon.
Hopefully I'm not killing transitions here between tracks. I think the ride is probably the industry, the music industry. This second verse here by Tizo is great. You've got Lil Yachty talking about fill my void, fill the, we've got a void, fill it. Tizo's I feel empty, riding on E, a shopping spree may fill the V is in void. So he's gonna go shopping, he's gonna buy shit to fill the void. Speaking of void, I may avoid all my boys, that doesn't work. Is unemployed, now I'm annoyed. I don't understand the unemployed now annoyed part. Unreviewed annotation. Not even going to mention it. I made avoid all of my boys. That doesn't work. Is unemployed, now I'm annoyed. Maybe his friends or people within the industry that he has to stay in contact with in order to have a fucking job. Maybe. I don't know. But let's keep going. All of the things I want from joy doesn't bring joy. Maybe that's shopping, maybe not, maybe it's other things. It just brings noise. So the ride, the reason why I think the industry is a ride, don't ask no questions, making eye contact. So maybe you think of the cover, maybe these are not lawyers. Maybe they are lawyers, but maybe they're lawyers for the record company. People that, here's the contract you have to sign. And we're here for you, but we're fucking laughing at you and we're ugly. Maybe that's what the cover is. It's not politicians, maybe or lawyers. Maybe it's record company people. So if you make eye contact with them, they're smiling at you, but there's that ugly smile underneath. That's not in the lyrics, that's the cover. When I'm alone with my thoughts, I'm terrified. Maybe I made the wrong decision. Maybe I shouldn't have signed that. This is all reaching. It's for the record, right? This is just me exploring right now. I have no idea if that's what this is about. But what does strike me is just the idea of, I need you here by my side, a quick zoom to the moon, come and ride. But I've heard so many stories about when you get in the industry and how they basically start to separate you from your friends and your family. You don't have like a support base beneath you. You get surrounded by these people that are, yes men and all this other stuff. And interesting song. It started to grow on me too. The production on the second half of the song, I started getting used to it. It started to grow on me. So there's the ride. I think I really did a little too much thinking on that one, but it's fun. I'm just excited. That's all there is to it. Track 3 is called Running Out of Time. It's featuring Justine Skye, produced by Justin Raisin. Magdalena Bay, that name sounds familiar for some reason. Lil Yachty, Patrick Wembley, Sad Pony. All right, track 3, Run Out of Time. Fat little bass line. Yeah. I like the pluck too. The pluck bass line. Fucking cool though.
Watch it, girl. Don't ever tell me lies. I said, watch, baby. You ain't never running out of time. What you may never know.
Cool little guitar strums in there. God, that bass. But pause there. Looks like that's pretty much into the lyrics in terms of what's going to be introduced. Watch it, girl. Don't ever tell me lies. This verse is interesting because it starts off, don't ever tell me lies. He's telling girl, don't ever tell me lies. I said, watch it, baby. You and I are running out of time. You may never know. You may never know. What you may never know is more than you'll see. So there's more secrets than revealed, right? What you may never know is more than you will see. So there's more kept secret than revealed. I can part the ocean, come and see it. If I told you all of my secrets, baby girl, would you look in my eyes and feel deceived? Well, I can't let you leave. I told you far too much. Now you got to stick with me. So this little verse is kind of neat because it's not overly complex, but there's a lot of like little things that are left implied, like in between the lines. You know, you've got this relationship and it's saying, girl, I'm still kind of sticking with the music industry a bit. I'm just gonna say, like, for the record, I'm gonna say that I'm not thinking what this is what it's about, but this is what I'm stuck on, and I feel like I'm probably wrong, but this is what I'm just stuck on. With the album cover, you know, there's like some documents there in the front. Everybody's looking at you as if maybe you're the person that's supposed to sign them. The last track's called The Ride. Maybe it's a hint at the industry. Well, who knows? But now you've got this idea of watch it, girl. Don't ever tell me lies. I said, watch it. You and I run out of time. I can part the ocean, come and see. That's almost like biblical, right? That's almost like very strong, powerful, you know, and think of industries and you know, massive companies in industry that can make or break somebody's career depending on what you do. They have the power to part the sea and let you go to the, you know, the place that you want to go or whatever, right? But then there's also this concept of you can't lie to me. You can't lie. Don't lie to me because we're running out of time. We'd have to be on a truthful thing. However, I'm going to keep all these secrets from you. And if I told you my secrets, would you even believe them to begin with? Or would you think they're all lies? And to me, that gets into this idea of not so much lying to people or withholding information, but getting into something that has all of these inner workings, all of these, you know, behind the curtains type deals where if you understood how it really worked, you would be revolted, repulsed. You'd want to leave. If you knew these secrets, if you knew how it actually worked, you would want nothing to do with it. That's why you get into, and I get to that because now I can't let you leave. I told you far too much. Now you have to stick with me. So it's one of those things where I'm keeping all these secrets from you so that you don't understand what's going on, so that you'll basically stick around. Because if you knew what was actually going on, you'd be furious, repulsed, etc. And just the running out of time thing, that could be a career, that could be a contract, I don't know. So that's my take on what's being said here. And that's all spun off of a metaphor of a relationship. He's saying baby girl, but I don't know. And I think, like I've been saying so far, I think I'm reaching a little too much. I think I'm a little too excited. And then what happens too is I get an idea and I start to build on it and then I can't let it go. So that's what I'm pulling from this on my very first listen. Let's finish up the track. I love this little fucking bass line. That little pluck that the guy does. You know what? A neat part about that track too, with the last 2 minutes there, I was sitting with my idea. You get this post-chorus, which the lyrics are wrong on Genius. Stay up with me, stay up and watch the sun, baby, lay up with me, stay up with me. And then you bit on my mind. He says more. The lyrics aren't here though. But it ain't much time left. When you someone. He doesn't say when you someone. He says when you someone. So there's a word that's not here. There's some other words that are not here. This is an incorrect lyric page. But just kind of zoomed out on that track, on the back half there, listening to it. It's fucking chill, right? Like, you could just throw that one on and listen to it. Like, who gives a fuck what the lyrics are about? You got that fat fucking bass line there, and it's just kind of chill, little drum tap in there, and the vocals are kind of floaty and stuff. And so, yeah, Running Out of Time got a heart. Let's move on to track 4, which is called Pretty, and it's written up in an interesting way. Featuring Fouché? I'm going to say Fouché. I don't know. Produced by Justin Razor, Jam City, Patrick, and Sad Pony, Lil Yachty. Looks like it's going to be the same production crew throughout, which is good. Hopefully it'll bring a lot of consistency, which so far we've had. Track 4, Pretty.
Bust this pussy open.
Interesting.
I feel so pretty. Let's go to Sunset City, go to Sunset City. Walk up on the right side, I feel so pretty. Kiss my girl on her thighs, grab on her titties. I know that they despise, I feel so sexy. If someone say I'm not, must have not met me. Warm you up when it's cold, you call me bestie. Don't test me, I'm too sexy.
Huh. What?
She like keepers, so I do up the receipt. Jeepers, creepers, swear these niggas so spooky. Said I died for this pussy, R.I.P. Little Lord, that dick put me right to sleep. Skin so smooth, moisturized. Fuck, yeah, you pretty, when am I?
Huh.
You know, you've always been my favorite. You've always told me to enjoy my seconds in the earth with tea.
Interesting. I'm just going to be reaching the whole time for this album, right? Trying to like discern stuff, because I feel like this is a great song in the sense that it's chill, right? And I feel like maybe it's not really about anything, you know? And on the surface, I think that's a fair assessment to say, you know, it's just I feel pretty in a relationship, grabbing on the titties and stuff. But I think there are layers to this. And coming off of the previous track, Running Out of Time, you know, can't tell you these secrets, you leave, and now I can't let you leave because I've already told you too much. And now you've got this thing about I'm pretty, I'm so pretty, I feel pretty. Let's go to sunset, walk on the right side, kiss my girl. I know that they despise, I feel so sexy. If someone say I'm not, must not have met me. Warm you up when it's cold, you call me bestie. Don't test me, I'm too sexy. Now, like I was saying earlier, sometimes I get these ideas and I build on it and I can't let it go. That would be building on the idea of, you know, let's just say it's the record industry, music industry in general. I know that they despise music industry. I feel so sexy. If someone say I'm not, they must not have met me, which is easy for me to click with because I so often talk shit about the record industry and how they mistreat the artists and they just, you know, they're vampires and leeches and what have you, right? But I've also never been in the industry. I've never been swooned by anybody, right? Like, oh, you're going to be a star and you're going to get all this money and it's going to be amazing. Fucking up on the stage, you'll be, you know, stunting on the Jumbotron, right? And especially if you're young, you know, that's, whoa, holy shit, that's a sexy thing. You feel sexy and all this other stuff. And you warm you up when it's cold. You call me bestie and don't test me. I'm too sexy. And so it's almost like this play off of temptation and being, you know, allured and what have you. But anyway, or, you know, I'm just making all this shit up. Out of thin air, right? Like, who knows? He liked my curly hair, wrinkled off the crease. I keep a pleated piece. She's a keeper, so I throw out the receipt. Jeepers Creepers. Well, these guys are so spooky. Jeeper Creepers, of course, being a horror movie. Weird one, too. Swear I'd die for this pussy. R.I.P. Great little line right there. I like that. Been alive, then they put me right to sleep. Scared, so smooth. Moisturized. Fuck, want your picture in mine. Always been my favorite. Interesting. So, I don't know. I feel like I'm putting too much into it, but I am having fun. Either way. Even if I'm 100% wrong, it's fun. You know? And that's all that matters. Let's move on to track 5, which is called Failure. Produced by Jacob Portrait. So just Jacob on this one. Yeah, let's drop in track 5. Failure. With 2 frowny faces. Oh no, it's flipped. Failure. There's a frowny face and a smiley face. That's kind of interesting.
I've seen Failure a few times. More recently than before, actually. You know, it's quite interesting how much more complicated things get when you become quote-unquote rich and famous. Okay, say if I lost a finger. I'll be like, well, I still have 9. Or even like, when someone broke into my house, I felt like, well, I'm certain they needed it more than I did. These things are replaceable, you know? It kind of just helps with stress levels to think that way, you know? Kind of like, well, it could be worse. Oh well. Easier said than done, I'm sure.
I'm going to pause right there because he's going to shift into the failure part now. And this portion leading up to it, it's interesting because he's more or less, well, I don't want to say what he is saying. You know, he's saying, so this is all Yachty. Okay. Annotation just says inspirational Yachty. But there was this bit that was kind of interesting to me. It's quite interesting how much more complicated things get when you become rich and famous. I said quote unquote because no one man's rich can be stuff from poverty. It's hard to explain when you're so narrow-minded. Seeing the world with 20 shots and realize blah, blah. But he gets into this thing about it could be worse. You know, somebody broke into my house. They needed it more than I did. You know, I lost a finger. I still have that. And really, for me, that's the concept of just let it go. Let it go. And I feel like what he's saying is a piece of the broader picture of we don't have control over the things in our lives. We like to think that we do. We don't. I got COVID last week. I didn't want to have COVID. I got it. There you go. I'm mostly over it now. Still coughing a little bit. But, you know, there you go. And that's not a great example. But now I have to laugh at myself for a couple of seconds here while I try and stall to regain my train of thought. We don't have control. And there are so many situations in life where it seems like something bad and it turns out to be, you know, there are things that are bad. But sometimes you can find that silver lining, or sometimes it turns into a blessing in disguise. And of course I can't think of any examples, even though the last 2 weeks have just been full of that shit for me lately. It seemed like something was bad and it actually turned out to be good. But the opposite is also true sometimes. There are so many, well, not so many things. Well, we hear it all the time, right? The people who win the lottery, yay, they're set for life. And then 2 years later, they're in total ruin, right? We just don't know where life is going to go. And one thing I try and tell myself, one thing I try and tell my son is don't decide whether something's going to be good or bad, especially the bad, because it's easy to decide that, oh man, I don't want to do this. This is going to suck, blah, 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 right? Don't decide that before it happens. Go do the thing. Let it decide on its own. You know, we don't need to give it help. If something's going to suck, it'll suck, and we don't have to help with that. We can just, it'll do that on its own. But we don't have to also like add to the score by deciding beforehand. Maybe it's not as bad as we think, you know? There you go. Let's go, but here, let's get into the failure part a little bit. Let's back up. I don't even know why the fuck I started talking about all that. Honestly.
Easier said than done, I'm sure. But failure, oh man, failure, that took time to understand. You know, like failure doesn't mean defeat, but more so like, try again. Should try even harder. Revise your steps and rewrite your future. You know, you never know how close you are to success.
I like that. I like that final line. And you never know how close you are to success. I really like that. This is beautiful. I now understand why the word failure has a smiley face and a frowny face on each side. Something, what I was thinking about when he's talking about failure here, I was thinking about dirt biking, and one of the things I like to do is hill climbs. And they're challenging. They're very challenging. And they're fucking scary. Honestly, half the time, I'm older now. Back when I was riding before I got out of the sport, I was in my 20s, early 30s. You know, actually I was just 20s. And I did not have the fear that I have now. So now when I go do a hill climb, that's easier than what I used to be able to do before because I didn't ride for like 10 years. Shit's fucking scary. And there's so many hill climbs I don't make. And me and my friends, we all talk shit to each other. You suck. You didn't make it, blah, blah. And then they'll try and they don't make it. You know, we're just talking shit because we're all older and it's just fun. But to me, the failure of not making the hill climb is it's not a failure. It's a pushing of your own boundary. You know, you're trying to get better. And the only way sometimes you can get better at something is to do something that's beyond your capability. You have to fail. You have to. If you never challenge yourself such that you don't fail, if you always stay within a box of success, you'll never expand that box because you'll never need to. Because the skill set that you use in the box that you're within always leads to success. So why would you need to get better? Why would you need to improve anything? You don't grow as a person. Failure, if you choose to acknowledge it for what it is, just something beyond your ability, at the time, not forever, at the time, failure is something that spurs you on. Failure is not something that's bad. That's something that really pisses me off about American society, Western society in general, is we put so much emphasis on the winner and the person who's at the top of the mountain, the person who made it, because by doing so, it implies anybody who isn't there somehow failed. And that's total fucking horseshit. Total horseshit. Failure is an opportunity to grow. Failure to me isn't always a negative thing. More so just a way to relook at things, and you never know how close you are to success. And I think about that, and I think about my hill climbing analogy, and some of those hill climbs where I'm like, because there's all this fear. Please don't make me have to fucking turn around and go down this. Please just make it. Please just make it so I can take the easy trail back down, right? Rather than going, please just make it. And there's been times I'm not going to make it. And you just keep trying. And holy shit, it was messy. And I was all over the place. And it didn't look pretty, but I made it, you know? And that's kind of life, man. That's life in general. Sometimes it ain't pretty. It doesn't have to be pretty. You don't necessarily get more points for pretty, despite what we are sometimes led to believe. Cool track. Even though it's just spoken word and I spent 10 times as long talking about it than the actual song. I like Failure. That gets a heart, even though it's not really a song. It's more like an interlude. Let's move on to track 6, which is called The Zone. Featuring Justine Skye, produced by, we got Miles Robinson in here now too. Kaya Cohen. So some different people in on the production here for The Zone. Let's jump in, track 6.
I'm so far gone. Can you take me back home?
Cool sound. It does. You do feel.
It's only an idea. I fear it's costumes that you wear. I see clear in the atmosphere. None of my peers were really there.
Cool. I like the drum fill in there with the guitar licks. Cool chorus. It was very cool. And I play this song to come down calm when you are wrong. The intro to this track with the sound that was going on, you know, he's saying, I'm so far gone, can you take me back home? I'm stuck in a zone and a million miles from home. And it felt like musically, it did feel like floating, right? Lost a bit. Like, oh shit, where the fuck am I? I'm not home. Then you get into this verse. Home is only an idea. I fear it is costumes that you wear. Home is only an idea. It's costumes that you wear. I see clear in the atmosphere. None of my peers were really there. Sunshine and moonlights make a tough time feel nice. So things aren't going well, necessarily, maybe, but sunshine and moonlight helps with that. Fun times, fun nights with y'all. It feels right. We're outcasts, avoid hype. In the sunshine, we break ice. In the moonlight, we escape life. So in the daytime, we're chilling, you know, meeting people, maybe, you know, having some fun, just relaxing. In the moonlight, we escape life, probably partying a little bit, what have you. In the sunshine, in the sunshine, in the sunshine. I'm still stuck on this idea. This is starting to feel like an experience in the record industry. Far from home. I don't know where I am. A million miles from home. Home starts to feel like an idea. None of my peers are here, but the sunshine and the moonlight makes it feel better. Breaking ice, meeting people, right? Breaking the ice in the sunshine and the moonlight. We're escaping life. We're having parties. It just feels like somebody's on this trip. And you've got songs, the previous spoken thing, talking about failure. And here he's talking about being an outcast, avoiding hype. Maybe that's perceived as a failure if you're not in the hype, if you're treated like an outcast, even though it's got a pretty kick-ass record so far. I feel at home until I'm alone. So it's almost like being caught up in this swirl, right? Yeah, I'm comfortable. This is what my life is. This is what home is until all that shit dies down. And like he was saying in the Black Seminole, I'm terrified when I'm alone with my thoughts or something like that. When I'm alone, I'm terrified because I'm with my thoughts. I don't remember exactly how he says it. So it comes down and he's alone. I feel at home until I'm alone. And you always feel loved until you are wrong. Interesting. And I play this song to come down calm when you are wrong. That I don't know what to make of. You always feel loved until you are wrong. And I play this song to come down calm when you are wrong. Let's keep rolling. Verse 2. I love that drum fill.
Never meant to make you feel alone. A non-chivalrous tone you've used since I got home. I feel wrong. Deep down inside I'm stoned.
This is bitchin' right here. Great tone in her voice.
I feel cold and alone, but now I know that you love me.
Great vocals here. Oh shit, we moved into the next track. I didn't even realize. It just kept rolling. I gotta pause it. Shit, that's funny. I was so sucked into the music. I didn't realize we're 45 seconds to the next track. I want to talk about the second verse real quick on the zone. I never meant to. So now it's Justine Skye here. And that's important in my opinion because it's female vocals. Because there's been a couple of lines now talking about girl this and, you know, don't lie to me, girl. Don't test me. And, you know, I can't let you know all my secrets. Otherwise you'll leave. And I'm keeping that parallel with the industry. Or maybe just stardom. You know, who knows, right? But that's the general idea. So let's just pretend with that idea that Justine is the voice of the industry. I never meant to make you feel alone. A non-chivalrous tone you've used since I got home. I feel wrong, deep down inside I'm stoned. I feel cold and alone, but now I know that you love me. Will you put anybody above me? Let me know, is this home? So the idea for me being maybe Lil Yachty, or not even Lil Yachty, just the concept of pushing back against this. Like, fuck, man, maybe I've lost my way. None of my peers are around. I don't know where home is. I don't feel like I'm at home. I only feel alone, or what's he say here? I feel at home until I'm alone. When I'm alone, I'm terrified with my own thoughts and all this other shit. So maybe there's been some pushback of being swept up in this and having these moments of isolation and realizing, oh shit, I'm lost. And so there's been, you know, I don't want to do this shit. I got to get out. Whoa. Oh, really? That's a non-chivalrous tone you're using with me right now. But then you've got this question of, will you put anybody above me? So it's almost like a point of decision. You either got to choose to do this thing or choose to not, because you can't do both. And that's something Kendrick put on display very well, right? You can't live the duality of these two lives of trying to be a humble person and, you know, with the family and also while also being one of the biggest fucking rappers on the planet. Like, it just doesn't work. Again, I feel like it's a stretch. I really like this track though. The Zone is in my favorites. It's in competition for being my favorite for sure. The Zone is fucking legit. And then it drops into The Sun, which I didn't realize we dropped into. So we're 45 seconds into track 7 already, which is produced by Jacob Portrait, Justin Raisin, Lil Yachty, Wimbley, and Said Pony. Let's keep rolling here on track 7. I loved how it just fed right into it. Love the production here. This is brilliant. This is fucking brilliant. God, the sound is just incredible right here. It's so full. It's just amazing. I'm going to pause because I don't want to pause. So I got to fucking push the button at some point, man. Holy shit, this is an incredible track. I love this. We Saw the Sun is fantastic. I was laughing. Why was I laughing? The sun's coming up. I still feel numb in the dark. My secrets hide. I run. So they've been up all night partying, right? A few more drops on your tongue at night, too many that can't be undone. Head spun, meanwhile you're done. So they're fucking hammered, right? They've been drinking all night or doing God knows what all night. I can't stop touching you. It just took my high to the moon. It don't get no better. Moments like this reveal the truth. Alone with only you. Take a picture because we'll need the proof. That's why I was laughing, because when you're that drunk, you won't remember unless, I'm sure we've all had those moments, right? You wake up the next day, you're flipping through the photos on your phone. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Nobody will believe we saw the sun. If this don't work out, remember all we've done. That part right there, nobody will believe we saw the sun. And the first thing that comes to mind, who knows if this is accurate or not, is this idea of, he was talking about failure and treating failure as an opportunity, more or less, and you don't know how close you are to success. And you've got this track called We Saw the Sun. It's all caps, exclamation point. We saw, basically, we made it. We made it. We made it through the darkness. We made it through that long, dark period. And then we actually saw the sun. We made it. And I like that idea, obviously, because it touches into the concept of just being in the industry. But that's really the first thing that comes to mind. Take a picture because we'll need proof. Holy shit, look at us. We're up on the stage or what? Like, take fucking photos. Like, remember this shit. It don't get no better. Moments like this reveal the truth alone with only you. Only you, in my opinion, being, if you're in the industry making it, whatever, but I don't like this annotation at all. Not even going to say it out loud. Totally disagree. Unreviewed. All of these annotations are unreviewed annotations, except for the big, long spoken word part, because that was yachty. God, the production here is incredible. Very victorious. Holy shit. And victorious in not a triumphant way, but a bathing in the warmth, the sun, the shine, like you just, we fucking made it. All this weight falls off your shoulders. Not like horns and, drums and yay, we were like a victory, but like surviving this long dark to make it to the sunshine. This is a bitchin' track. This has been so much fun listening to this album so far.
Just let your imagination run wild. Let your heart be your guide. In the time you sit around worrying about it and trying to plan a painting, you could have completed the painting already.
Yeah.
Let it happen. Let it happen.
Let it happen. Let it happen. Let it happen. And don't force, it's got to happen this way. No, it doesn't. And not only no, it doesn't, and no, it won't, but also, let's say, just for the record, let's say you could force it to happen this way. Does that mean that's the best way? Does that mean it's going to give the best possible result? We don't even know that. We don't even know that for a fact. We think, oh yeah, this will be good because then I could do this, that, and the other. But maybe that's not the actual best outcome for us. Kind of goes into the concept of failure and being pushed beyond your abilities. And, if you always succeed, I mean, that's nice. Sure. We don't want lives full of failure. I mean, success is also very important. Otherwise, it's just depressing as shit, right? But you just start getting fucking bored, too. Like, I don't want to. I was going to tumble into this whole thing about like God, right? But I don't want to do that. But let it happen, and then whatever it is, that's what it is. Take your wins where you can get them. Look at our failures, our losses, and go, oh, okay, well, is this even a loss? Like, yeah, this didn't turn out the way I wanted it to, but also turns out I kind of don't even need that. Nice. Or, oh shit, I fucked up. I'm going to own that. Try and get better. Move forward with my life. I love Bob Ross. Great guy. Great guy. All right, let's move into track 8, which is called Drive Me Crazy, featuring Deanna Gordon. Same production crew. Yeah, Patrick Wimbley said Pony. Track 8, Drive Me Crazy. I'm going to play out the last 2 seconds here of 7. Great transition there. Oh, yeah. Uh-huh. Uh-huh. Oh, this is good. Oh, my God.
Imagine life without me. It's so crazy time. You want the kind of love that can make a child always gonna be mine.
This is fucking fantastic. Oh my God.
Just can't walk away.
Oh.
Drive me crazy. I lose it. And I wanna be where you are. I just can't walk away. Drive me crazy. I lose it.
Imagine me. I cannot picture when you ride. I'm mistaken, thinking you were taken, knowing that you were always mine. And still I feel so surprised.
God, this is so good right here.
You're always gonna be mine.
I'm pausing because I can hear it swelling and it says instrumental break. So I don't want to I'm just going to pause right here. This is like my window. This track is phenomenal so far. Phenomenal. I feel like this one is I'm stuck on my idea with the industry and all this shit, right? I'm having fun. But this one feels very relationship oriented. You match your life. I don't think that's what she actually said. I think the genius line here is wrong. Well, match the life it brought me in so crazy time. You want the kind of love that can make a child, but not just anybody. Not just anybody. Life filled my body up like a glass when you pour it all out. If you know me, you know I mind. Someone like me is hard to find. If you know me, you know I mind. Someone like me is hard to find. Not mistaken if I'm there, well aware you are always mine. And you still seem so surprised. Always going to be mine. That verse seems to be from the point of view of somebody who's in control of the relationship. Right? No. Well aware you are always mine. And still you seem so surprised. Like, no, you belong to me. That person's in control. Verse 1. This girl, life filled my body up like a glass when you pour it all out. If you know me, you know I mind. I don't really know what that means. I don't really get that. And then this chorus together with both of them is fantastic. I want to be where you are. I just can't walk away. Drive me crazy. I lose it. I want to be where you are. And then Yachty drops in with his verse. Imagine me circling through life without a piece of you. Tapping out of selfish days, I'm needing you. You bring life to the party. Love feels like butterflies suffocating your insides. It's a late night. You know I try. I cannot picture when you lie. I'm mistaken thinking you were taken. Knowing now you were always mine. Still I feel so surprised. Let's keep going. Oh, I thought it was going to swell up there because it was building so much. I'm surprised this little pause.
Rarely ever missing, talk is cheap and time is ticking. Rarely ever tricking, catch me slipping, that pussy was leaking. All my missions, paying millions, I'm Teddy Beyonce. I lay night on sinning, still a Christian, I'm tell my deacon. I mean pastor, oil her down and talking pastor. Around 6-7 bitches with no tension, see I'm pimping.
Wow. 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 Total turn on the second half of the track there. It's building up. It's so much like sound. I mean, the production was fucking phenomenal, right? It's beautiful. It's beautiful. It's building. And then what happens? It falls out. It falls out. And then Lil Yachty just takes this turn. Travel. Am I missing? Talk is cheap and time is ticking. Now, keep this in mind with, what was it? The Zone? He's talking about, this, I think it was The Zone. I can't remember. I can't remember what I was going to say now. But basically, I feel like I've lost home. I don't know where home is. Home feels like an idea. Now he's talking about travel. Talk is cheap. Time is ticking. Really ever tricking. Catch me slipping. I put you on. These lyrics are fucked up. These lyrics are wrong. This line right here was wrong. It's Genius says, I put you on leaking. But it sounded like he said something else. I'm on mission, pay millions. Ted DiBiase. That's the $1 Million Man. Out late night, I'm sinning. Still a Christian. But I'm out late at night and I'm sinning. I'll tell my demons. I mean my pastor. Or I'll go down there talking faster. I assume, or I'll go down there. So I'll tell my demons, I mean my pastor. Or I'll go down there talking faster, meaning to hell. I'll go to hell. Like if I don't go to the pastor and repent for the sins that I'm committing right now because I'm out late at night doing these things, I'm going to go to hell. Ride with 6-7 bitches with no tent. You can see I'm pimping. Big 4-5 on my hip. He's got his gun. I'm limping, never simping. All my cousins crippin', always gripping. Shit gets dangerous. Always keep it players, swap out hoes. I'm never tripping. And then this line, I love my mother, my sister, my daughter. All these hoes get slaughtered. I can't deny. Pray to the Holy Father. That's a really interesting turn on the track. Because the first half, honestly, was so full of just beautiful sound, right? Him and Justine? Deanna Gordon, sorry. Beautiful harmony. Her verse sounds beautiful. His is together. The chorus where they're together. I mean, it just sounds great, and it's swelling and all this sound, and then it falls out. And I feel like the falling out, is this the moment where he's alone? Is this the moment where he is terrified because he has his own thoughts now? Like, is this the moment, those little pockets in time where he's on tour and it isn't on stage and it isn't a big party and it isn't all swept up in this and that and the other? He's actually has time to think about what's going on. And now he's kind of face to face with his own hypocrisy. The hypocrisy being out late night, I'm sitting, still a Christian. Like, here's what I believe. Here are my values, and here's what I'm doing. I love my mom, my sister, my daughter, yet here's how I treat women. And I always point that out because it's in the lyrics. I'm not trying to say anything about Lil Yachty, but that's just the up in your face being confronted with what you're doing versus what you think you stand for, what you believe, who you are as a person. I can't deny. Pray to the Holy Father. So this feels like a moment, especially with the music dropping out. It feels like a moment of, oh, fuck. Like I'm just out of control. And it pairs so well. That concept, I mean, again, this is just my own interpretation. So if I'm wrong, I'm fucking wrong. But the concept pairs so well with what's going on with the music. Because that instrumental break, it just drops out. And then here's Lil Yachty talk about these things that hasn't really talked about so far in the album, right? Cool. Fucking cool. And then it rolls into another track called I've Officially Lost Vision with Deanna Gordon again. Let's drop into this. Track 9. Let's just keep rolling. I've officially lost vision. So keep the idea of alone, terrified of my own thoughts, don't know where home is, I'm swept up in all this shit, and let's roll into this track and see how it goes. Oh, he's already saying, I'm cheating. I'm reading ahead. I'm cheating. I'm sorry. This is so much fun. Wild, man. Wow.
I've been swinging and spinning. I did way too much drugs. I've been swinging and spinning. Keep the fireplace warm, I'm almost home. I just balled up my fist, I cannot feel. I think I did one too much, many pills. I've officially lost vision.
We're gonna roll into Deanna's part. I think this is gonna be important. Total shift in sound. This is fucking crazy cool. That portion was fucking fantastic. I'm so glad I did this. So, I almost was like, nah, whatever, like, whatever. No. I'm so fucking glad I did this. Okay. Now we're gonna have to untangle some stuff because what Deanna said here doesn't work with the metaphor I've been clinging to the whole time, and that's okay because I'm probably wrong, and that's okay too because I'm just having fucking fun. I did too much drugs, swirling, spinning, too much drugs. Keep the fireplace warm. I'm almost home. I've officially lost vision. Like, doesn't that line right there, keep the fireplace warm, I'm almost home, doesn't that feel like almost like a desperate grasp for I'm still in control? And then I've officially lost vision. I found my turf, bad decision with the chrome in my hand. So it's got a pistol. I've been tempted to go clone my seed because I think this should be more like me. Know you miss the thought of you and me. Keeping up with all the Joneses, I can. So keeping up with the Joneses is, like putting on appearances, right? So whatever that means. Usually it's applied to like upscale suburban areas where you just pretend like you have a lot of money, and even if you don't have a lot of money, and you're just keeping up to try and I don't know why people do that, but they do. Some are different. I keep ice on my hand and I'm spinning like a modern home ceiling fan. That's drugs, right? He's spinning, swirling. He did too much drugs. I'm spinning. I just balled up my fist. I cannot feel. I think I did one too much. Many pills. I've officially lost vision. Then Deanna Gordon comes in here, and I've used her voice as kind of like a representation of the industry or whatever, but I don't know if that applies here, which makes me think my whole concept is wrong. But let's just walk through it. Save your tears for when you get old. Interesting. Because people out there ain't in the story you wrote. Realize who's friend and then who's foe, because you got everything you want. Because you got everything they want. You better keep that low. So don't fucking cry over being out of control, out of not feeling like you're at home, being terrified of your own life. Don't fucking cry because you have all the things that they don't have. Kind of sounds like something the devil / industry would kind of say, right? Stop your bitching. Doing all you can, trying to keep your hope, but all be gone before you wake. Old memories, they start to fade. Now, here's where it starts to split for me in terms of the analogy, where I think it starts to fall apart. The analogy I'm trying to make. Right here. You'll always get a prayer from me back home. You'll always get love even when you're dead wrong. These bitches get low, but I could go lower. Vibrations is high, keep people on their toes. I'm getting in your head more than you may know. I'm here just breathing. Could be a mother figure. It could be a wife. It could be somebody else, in my opinion. On this verse, Deanna, whatever. I don't think she represents the industry that I've been talking about for so long throughout this album. I think she represents somebody home, back home. And this person probably is aware, and I'm assuming this is, a metaphor to Lil Yachty's life. Maybe not. Maybe it's just a fucking story. But anyway, I'll treat it like a story. This person is well aware that the Lil Yachty character is swept up, completely out of control. I've officially lost vision.
All these questions in my head, I made a decision. I
Wow. Amazing sound. Wow. I don't know what that sound is. It's like a rustling, but it sounds like pant legs, like maybe somebody's running, but there's no breathing. You know, I would think if they wanted, you would hear footsteps and breathing, right? So I don't know what the fuck's going on here. But the second verse, I've lost vision, sent to a mental prison. I've been forced. This is an interesting word. I've been forced to make some terribly bad decisions. Forced. What kind of situation would you be in to be forced to make bad decisions? Maybe when you're under contract? I don't know. All these voices in my head. I need an incision, so cut this shit out, right? I need like a lobotomy or whatever. I could see this guy fall, and I'll lose you. This little tiny sheet of paper could change your life. It's chemically proven. It's chemically proven. That right there makes me think of dropping acid or something like that, which makes sense with what he's talking about in the what's the word? Spectrum. Context of the track. There we go. I did too many drugs. I'm spinning, I'm swirling, I'm spinning. I did too many drugs. I've lost vision. But what else is a tiny piece of paper that could change your life? A contract. Piece of paper that you sign. Again, I'm forcing my idea, right? I don't know if I'm right or not, but I think there's a parallel there, maybe. Especially when you take in this verse from Diana about how old memories start to fade. You'll always get a prayer from me back home. You know, somebody watching this person out there living this life, just knowing, you are fucking up big time. Interesting, man. This is a great album so far. I think Officially Lost Vision might be my favorite. Although this whole section, this whole run, from The Zone, We Saw Sun, Drive Me Crazy, Officially Lost Vision, these 4 tracks have just been fantastic. Absolutely fantastic. This whole album's been really good, honestly. But I'm really settled into the ride, you know? All right, let's move on to track 10, which is called Say Something, produced by GM City, Justin Raisin, Lil Yachty, Wimberly, Sad Pony. And we still got these laughing fuckers. They're just laughing at us the whole time. You know, the cover now, too, is interesting in the sense of taking acid and seeing the faces. Interesting. All right. Track 10, Say Something. Kind of calmed down a little bit, hasn't it? Pausing here, this track is throwing me off a little bit. It's just, I didn't expect this. And you know, that it is what it is. It's no big deal. It's slowed down. It's talking about falling in love and running away and forget the crowd. And, you know, we can live this dream life. Got me feeling like a teenager again. Feels like teenage love. I hope if you feel the same way, then say something. So this is an interesting song after what we've come out of these last couple tracks. Lately, you've been like the bullet stuffed inside my gun. Like, and what do bullets stuffed inside a gun do? They're waiting to go off. I mean, right? That's their purpose. That's what they do. That's their job. That's why they're built. The restaurant's about to close. Conversation carries on. Analyzing your thoughts, trying to see what you're on. Half drunk, fully high. You grab my wand. Leave the past in the rear. It's time we overcome. Our energies align inside of your pond. So she grabs his wand. They align inside of her pond. Energies do energies. We'll just say energies. So there's some sort of relationship here. Leave the past in the rear. That's important. Analyzing your thoughts, trying to see what you're on. So he's trying to figure out what's going on here. Falling in love. I could make it worth your while if you say something. Say something. So there's this desperate need for this other person. I don't know who this other person is in here. Let's keep going. Interesting track. There's a shift. Trippy, man. Total shift in sound. I don't know what's going on here. Oh, weird.
So how you scoop that?
I tell you, dog. I told the bitch, baby, I'll lie for you, baby. I'll die for you, baby. Baby, I'll paint the sky for you, baby. Just like that.
What the fuck? So there's a sound of a cassette tape being removed. It's like we were listening to a song. I don't know what to make of that. That's really interesting because it's intentional. That's on purpose. That's on purpose. This whole album's been fucking brilliant, and that the songs fucking, the transitions between tracks have just fed right into each other really well. And then you come off of I've Officially Lost Vision. Then you drop into this weird kind of love song out of nowhere, and it seems pretty sincere. Like you could take this at face value, right? It doesn't really seem like there's a whole lot under the surface, like double meaning. I can't even like make my record industry analogy apply here. So I'm just kind of going with it, and then all of a sudden they fucking pull the song out of the cassette player, and this guy's whispering, "I would like for you. I'd die for you, baby. I'd paint the sky for you." Let's back up this part. I want to hear like this last 20 seconds or so, 15, 20 seconds. Let's see. Tape comes out. Dark, sinister sound.
How you scoop that?
I tell you, dog. I told the bitch, baby, I'll lie for you, baby. I'll die for you, baby. Baby, I'll paint the sky for you, baby. Just like that, brother. What? Just like that.
So it's somebody speaking in a tone such of all these lies he fed to this woman. Oh, I do this for you. I do that. Because the guy, how'd you scoop that? Oh, I just said this. I'd lie for you, baby. I'd die for you. Sinister music, explaining lies being told to a person to deceive them, to trick them. Now we're going to move into track 11, which is called Paint the Sky, which is the final line off this. I'd paint the sky for you, which was the lie, one of the lies being told. Produced by Anthony Lopez, Justin Raisin, Lil Yachty, Wimbley, Sad Pony. Fucking cool experience so far. Let's drop in. Track 11. Trippy, man.
So surreal. The vibes I feel. It must go on.
Pausing here because he says it must go on. And that's a line that is often referred to the show. The show must go on. I still think I'm reaching, but I'm just having fun with the analogy. The show must go on. All for you. Let me back. I killed that transition a little bit. Let me back it up.
Feeling, falling, crawling, I'm stalling for your love. You got me drinking, smoking, I might overdose on your love. I need you, emotionally scarred, I cannot feel. Am I not the one? Am I not the one? Not the one for you. Falling, crawling, I'm stalling for your love.
Cool track. Very cool track.
You got me drinking, smoking, I might overdose on your love.
So, oh, I gotta sneeze a little bit. Something that's sticking in my brain the whole time with this track is it comes right at the end of Say Something, where at the end of that track they pull out the tape. How'd you scoop that? Oh, I told you that I'd lie for you, I'd die for you, I'd paint the sky for you. Sinister tone, obviously a lie. He's telling his buddy the story, this bullshit line he fed whoever to get what? The fucking cassette tape, the music. How'd you scoop that? I lie for you, I'd die for you. So I'm so torn because I feel like I'm doing everything I can to salvage my record industry analogy, right? Like make it work, like force it, which isn't, I mean, it's fun to do, but at the same time, if it isn't right, it isn't right. So don't cling to it, you know, let it go. But it's just really fucking interesting. At the end of Say Something, a tape with music gets pulled out. How'd you scoop that? Oh, I'd die for you, I'd lie for you, I'd paint the sky for you. And now you have a track that says all those fucking things. Every time it's you and I feel revived. I would die for you. You get me high high enough to paint the sky for you. Oh my God, this is really interesting. So surreal, the vibes I feel. It must go on. It must go on. Fiending, falling, crawling, I'm stalling for your love. You got me drinking, smoking, I might overdose on your love. The only thing that I'm really kind of tangled up on is who is saying this to who in this situation? Is it the Lil Yachty character saying it to the music industry? Or is it, you know, keeping with that analogy, or is it the lies the industry is feeding to the artist? Oh, I need you. I'm stalling for you. You got me drinking, smoking. I'm so worried about. I need you, right? I need you. I need to chill. Verse 2 is kind of interesting. Emotionally scarred, I cannot feel. Am I not the one? Am I not the one? Not the one for you? You can keep it real. You get me high. You get me high. I feel like this is the industry. But again, who even knows if that's fucking right? Fascinating fucking track. This whole album's been a hell of a ride. Track 12 is called Should I Be? Justin Ray's and Lil Yachty. Wimberly Said Pony. Here we go, track 12.
Am I mad at what you did? I don't think so. Am I mad at what you did? I don't think so.
I do want to say, for the record, at this point, with the last couple tracks, I'm kind of over the idea of it being some sort of analogy to the music industry. I think really this is more of just a relationship thing. And I think the music industry and being in the industry and part of the industry plays into how that affects a relationship. So just for the record, I want to put that out there. Because it feels like it's gone more in that direction, more of a relationship type of thing. And the strains that are associated with it seem to be brought on by music industry related situations. I like this question though. Am I mad at what you did? I don't think so. But should I be? It's always an interesting question. I'm mad at you, or I'm not mad at you. Maybe should I be mad at you? I don't know. Let's see. Let's find out.
What's your favorite?
I love how every now and then they bring in these guitars, man. And it rolls right into The Alchemist. I'm just gonna let it play. This is track 13, The Alchemist.
No need to brag, but I knew that I was built for this. I know now that most men would kill for this. Seamlessly, I walk around infamous. Probably cause I am the alchemist. Learn to love, I'm not like the Tin Man. I am Sensei Charles with a vengeance.
Learned to love. I'm not like the Tin Man. The Tin Man, of course, had no heart. I'm Sensei Jones with a vengeance. I don't know who Sensei Jones is. I want to go back to the previous track, Should I Be, this verse. When it rains, it pours, 48 floors. I need more, take off and soar. What I have in store for you is grand and can't be torn. Going back in time and making it fine, measuring lines. I'm wrapping it tight. Secure your love. And when you're mine, better not divide my mind. Can't ignore the signs this time. I gotta do right by you. No, by me. Huh. And then you've got this first verse too, though. You know, you call me, I pick up, I pull up. You know we'd abuse it. It's fucked up. Why can't I escape you? Why can't I? You hurt me, you trick me, and still I give you the world undeserving. Nah. Hurting me, blessing you all the time.
I don't think you practice what you're preaching, sucker.
Cool. Oh, very cool. What a trippy fucking album, man.
Bitch, we go super crazy for the back end. He know now that I give a backhand.
My feet don't touch the ground. Don't try to shoot me down. Only a human. It's my first go round in this thing.
I have to admit, here, I have no idea what the fuck's going on. You've got this back and forth between Yachty and Freshia? I don't know. It feels good. Don't need no harm. This for shits and giggles. Pay my taxes on time. All right. Living a good life. We're living a good life. And then Yachty comes back. We go super crazy for the back end. I guess for the ass? I don't know. He now know that I give a backhand. So he's fucking whack. Back out on the boat. Catch a spray tan. I could dive from the deep end. Fuck. Tweak, 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 tweak. Papa made a young pimp. I'm outside. Southside. Toe to shank. I'm upper rank. This line I don't understand at all. Lemonade, pink seats in a fish tank. Is that like the boat that they're on has like a glass bottom or something, and so it looks like they're in a fish tank and they're sitting in those seats? I don't fucking know. And then this girl comes back up on my cloud. My feet don't touch the ground. Don't try to shoot me down. I'm only human. It's my first go around in this thing. And I know earlier I just said how I'm letting go on this idea of the analogy of the industry and being caught up in that, but maybe it's just, I think really it's, yeah, I gotta let that go. It's just the relationship and her saying, I'm only human. It's my first go around in this thing. That's an interesting line. I don't know. The Alchemist confuses me. I don't really understand. But let's move on to the final track. It's called Reach the Sunshine, featuring Daniel Caesar. Same production crew. Oh, Nick Keem. That's new. I think this is the first time he's been used in the album here. Patrick Wembley, Sad Pony.
Staring in the mirror
kind of reminds me of Pyramid Song by Radiohead.
Two for the flesh and one for the soul.
Not really, but just a tiny, tiny bit.
But where did mine go? I'm trying to fill that hole. Trying to fill that hole.
Love the tone here.
Fill that hole.
To reach the sunshine.
Huge hit there. But you know what's interesting here is on track 7, when we saw the sun, it was that feeling of like, I was saying how it was victory, but it wasn't triumph. Like it was like shedding of all this weight, and we made it, you know, like we made it through the darkness. We're finally in the sun. This has the same kind of impact, but the sun does not feel as rejuvenating here. The sound is, it's there and it's real, but it almost has like an oppressive quality to it. Just kind of like heavy synthetic sound. Let's keep listening to it, but it's a different style from track 7, which was We Saw the Sun. And there's laughter. Wow. Wow.
I'm back. I'm a bad man.
Nice drum hit right there. Nice. So the lyrics are pretty much complete. It says instrumental outro from here. There's 3 minutes left of the song. I just want to touch on the idea of reaching the sunshine. Okay, so making it through the dark, making it in general. I don't know. I don't really know what this album is specifically about. And that's okay. But here's what I want to focus on going into the last 3 minutes of this fucking ride, right? And it's been a ride. It's been fantastic. Struggling with relationships, feeling lost, you know, trying to hold on to, I guess I would say, reality, home, you know, where I came from, the people there who love me, maybe the people I'm letting down, the people who I forget while I'm swept up in this thing. And, you know, I've reached the sunshine. I'm here, but now it's not exactly sunshine. It feels sinister here. Here's the lyrics. Can you feel it? Ballroom dance with my demons. Like on the dance floor, they're scheming. At first, I didn't believe it, but why shouldn't I? I'm a bad man. I'm bad. I'm a bad man. Look on the dance floor, they're scheming. Okay, who's scheming? You know, ballroom dance with my demons. They're scheming. Think of the album cover. Just think of the album cover. Just put that into your pot of all the things that we're going to think about here for the last 3 minutes of this album. And then there's this laughter. I'm a bad man. Exactly. Can you feel it? And it's like this. The idea that's coming to my mind right now is, oh, I made it. And I've reached the sunshine, but the pot of gold or the sunshine or whatever, the treasure that he reached isn't actually a treasure. It's like a trap instead. Let's finish this up. What a ride, man.
Can you feel it?
Love the drums in here. Almost haunting. pausing here. I have these images of somebody just sinking beneath the ocean. And, you know, you see the sunshine. There's the sunshine and just being pulled down by the sirens, right? The mythical creatures, the sirens, the mermaids that eat the people, whatever the fuck. I don't know if they're mermaids or whatever the fuck they are, right? The sirens just pulling this person down. And they're just fading away into the darkness, not into the sunshine. Whoa, those are the sounds that the album started with. What a fucking... Gone. Wow. What a fucking ride, man. That was great. What do I think of that, though? What is that? You know, I'm kind of glad I used the analogy of sirens. It was just something that came to mind. I don't know why I did this so aggressively. I don't know what to do with my hands, right? Part of it, I saw somebody in Discord, because there's all this fucking chatter about this album, right? People are blowing up about it. And I finally said, fine, I'll do it. Leave me alone. And somebody said it, the ending. Somebody said something about The Great Gig in the Sky Part 2, and which is piano and singing, beautiful track. But as it slows down towards the end, we're signifying the death of the person. It gets real calm and mellow and stuff like that. And there's some similarity here. I can see that. But the reason I went with the siren is because Pink Floyd, when they do that track, the visual is ocean waves. And as it's these ocean waves, or you're in the waves, and there's just, lots of exuberance and movement and motion and stuff. But as the song slows down and that person dies off, the waves still and calm. And so I started thinking about just still water and sinking into the darkness and the abyss. And the idea with the sirens, it's kind of neat, it kind of works, is, they pull the person into the water, right? And that's where they consume them. And then the water is still again. So you never even knew that somebody got murdered and destroyed and, consumed, because the surface is now still and calm once more, ready for the next prey to wander into the trap. What a fucking album. I don't know what that is. I don't know. It ain't rap. It ain't rock. It ain't fucking R&B. I don't know what the hell it is, but it's cool. It's really cool. Really cool. I'm so glad I just did it. Like, otherwise I never would have. And then people, you gotta do it, And I would, okay, I'll put it on the list. Right? That's what I tell everybody. I'll put it on the list. And technically, yeah, it's on the list, but, it's gonna be really neat. I'm glad I did this today. It is Friday. Right now it's Friday. I told everybody on Discord I was going to record it Sunday morning. I lied. I didn't know I was lying at the time, but I sat down and I was kind of chilling and I was drinking an energy drink. I was like, I feel good enough. I could do a recording, I bet. And I did. Yeah, I pulled it off, even though it was 2 hours. That was really fucking fun. It was just fun to listen to. And it was fun to explore and poke around in and try and figure out what the fuck it's about. And so it's going to be really neat watching the community at large, like, try and solve this puzzle of what this album's about. I feel like it's getting wrapped up in the scene. Just the whole... At first I thought it was about maybe it's about the record label itself. And maybe it just kind of evolves. Maybe it starts there because that's the album. Let's start here. And you're dealing with all this shit. But making it, and then relationships that are strained and feeling lost, and there's no sense of home, and it's just fucking cool, man. Really fucking cool. Good times. Lil Yachty, man. I apologize for coming into this completely blind, and any like hardcore Yachty fans out there, apparently this is a huge shift in sound, and so if you're upset by this album, I can understand if it's a massive shift in what you're used to, but I hope you can appreciate it for what it is, because it's a killer concept album. Even though I don't fully understand what the concept is about, it's a hell of a ride. Great production. Fucking love the production. Easy for me to love it, because it really does seem to have some influence from Pink Floyd and Dark Side of the Moon and what have you. God damn. That was great. That was great. And what a, huge breath of fresh air. Not that I was getting bored with anything that I've been listening to. No, absolutely not. But, hip hop is a certain sound and it exists in a certain space, and this does not. That's all I'm saying. This is something totally different. And totally unexpected on my part, I think, by everybody. And it's fun when shit like that happens and it works, It's just fun. Yeah. Yeah. All right. Well, good times, y'all. We'll see you soon.